Hello everyone, welcome back to Momentum Podcast. This is Ashish and I'm having with me Rakesh Talreja sir, All India rank 9 in GATE 2010 and he's from Electronics and Communication stream. He has been teaching for over a decade now, huge amount of experience. He has done masters in Electronics and Communication, majorly in Signals and System, what would you say, or VLSI?
Microelectronics, precisely VLSI. In IISc, we call it as microelectronics.
All right, great. I'm a mechanical engineer. I'm having tough
Yes.
time understanding the terms, but still, the most striking fact over here is that he got that rank in third year. He was doing his bachelor's in NIT Bhopal, and in third year only, he got an All India rank of 9. And back then, third year students were allowed to appear in GATE examination. We are seeing a cycle again, where again, third year students are allowed to appear in GATE examination. So he might give a lot of tips of preparing along with college, appearing in third year itself, and preparing without any coaching. All right, sir. Welcome to the podcast. Very happy to have you over here.
Thank you so much, Ashish, and thank you for this opportunity so that I can give my insights to the students, to the GATE aspirants, how they can prepare and how they can excel in their career.
Yeah. We are going to first focus on what third year students should be doing, the career opportunities, what are the advantages of giving GATE in third year itself. Then we are going to get into little bit of GATE preparation common tips. After that, we are going to focus towards electronics and communication because very rarely I get people who are so much of an expert when it comes to other fields other than mechanical engineering. Then we are going to talk about something which is very interesting. We are going to talk about some practical aspects like IC design and antennas. Sir will be explaining about those things and I'll be sitting over here like a student at that time, just like you. So, sir, tell me, what should be the mentality of third year students of this great opportunity that they can now appear in their third year itself and they can get a rank, and how can their career be impacted by this?
Sure.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Before directly telling to the students, I would just like to say my own experience, what made me go into third year. So precisely at the end of second year, when I was into one of the farewell, of my final year seniors. So that particular year, one of my final year senior, Rahul sir, he got All India rank 170 around. Okay. So, I just came in contact with him because I had an aspiration of going for master's degree. So, as a hua ki, he just got the rank. So I thought, let's talk him, and I met him in the farewell. That time he told me, what are the opportunities with GATE, why you should go for GATE, what if you get ISc and all. So immediately, me and my group of friends, we decided, okay, we should plan for GATE. And when I started my preparation somewhere around mid-July. Okay, that was 2009. That time, GATE was not allowed for third years. I mean, that rule wasn't there. So I just casually started 2009, July. Okay. But then somewhere, maybe later August, exact dates I don't remember. It's been a long time. But somewhere around mid-August or later August, there came the GATE notification. And then they announced that now the pre-final year students are eligible for GATE.
Very similar to what happened in 2020.
Exactly, very similar. And that's why last year I just gave the similar message to the students because it was the middle of the stage. But what I thought already I have started my preparation. And anyways, why can't I give my full chance? Because third year is a phase where we don't have a lot of college pressure. When we go to final year, we have the internships, we have the major projects. Okay, we have the very big thing, that is the placement pressure. Leave apart the projects and all, but placement pressure, because every student wants to get placed. Agar wo engineering mein aaye hain, so their dream is to get a secured job. Right? And they have to prove it to their parents and family members and the society as well. So placement is always, a big thing in the mind. Third year, we don't have that placement pressure. So I thought, why not let's go for, free to baithe hain. So why not give a full try? Because, if...
Most stable time. Third year is the most stable time.
So if it doesn't go well, final year is there with me. But let me give a full-hearted try. So, within that, maybe August and somewhere, I started full-hearted preparation. Even I'm going to the college, that 75% attendance criteria is there for every college. I was from NIT. So I had to go colleges as well. But to be very honest, because, I had to crack GATE. So I will just take some GATE questions or sheet of questions I'm solving. I will sit on a back bench. I will take out time during the college as well. At my home also, I am almost continuously studying. And it was quite possible that around November, I felt that my syllabus is almost done. So, and it was mostly like a self-preparation, although for few of the important subjects like, EDC, analog, which are the very core subjects, and communication, okay, I took the guidance under my NIT professors only. Okay, there were, 2 or 3 NIT professors who were really, motivating the students to go for higher education, and they had the ability to train the students even for GATE. For few subjects like, core subjects, I took the guidance with them. Mostly rest all subjects like control, digital, mathematics, everything I prepared on my own. Okay, so by November, I felt my syllabus is almost done. And then it gave me more motivation to, go to rigorous revision, test practice, revision. The good thing was, not only me, we were a group of around 4 to 5 friends. We were all preparing honestly with GATE. And we appeared in a lot of tests in December, January. And, February, I appeared in the examination. 1 week before the examination, my professor, the NIT professor himself, he told me, because, teachers can identify what students are doing. So, 1 week before the examination, he gave me a hint. I can't tell your exact performance, but I can assure you are going to be under 50. That's what his assurance was. And I actually did good in the examination. Exam dene ke baad, when I'm checking the rank from rank predictors and all, it's showing mostly below 20. Finally, March, I got the result, and it was All India rank 9th in my first attempt.
All right, great. At that time, back in 2009, 2010, were coaching institutes all in full force? Like they were making test series and all back then also?
Not in full force. Okay, and especially at my place, I am belonging to Bhopal. So there wasn't, any, big coaching brand or anything like that. Okay, so no test series major support as well. Okay, so mostly we took something we downloaded from internet, some sample papers are available. Okay, but no major support like what students have right now.
Yeah. And what about the whole thing that at that time, GATE was majorly for M.Tech only, right? There were no PSUs attached.
No, actually 2011, first PSU came up. During 2010-11 only, but that was also IOCL, not for electronics. So I prepared with the motivation of masters only.
Yeah, and we are seeing a circle kind of thing that again a lot of PSUs are separating, and GATE is kind of only for masters. But anyways,
so it can be a personal reason as well. When I was going for graduation, when I was about to start engineering, I had offers from NIT, Suratkal, NIT Trichy, which are, the topmost NITs. But there I was getting mechanical engineering, like you are. But my hardcore interest was in electronics. So due to which I chose NIT Bhopal, and also being my hometown, so it was much flexible to choose NIT Bhopal. So because I chose electronics engineering, I wanted to pursue, whatever my career is in that particular branch only. Okay. So that is what, and the placement scenario in our college that time, being it a NIT, and it was during that time it was in the top 5 NITs. But still the placement for electronics was mostly software and IT. I mean, you can feel 80% or 85% of the placement was going towards software and IT.
I think market was not developed for ECE back then.
Right. Yes, it was not developed. It was that time only coding and software. So, I didn't want to go into again the coding side, software side. So that is what was one of my major motivation to go towards GATE. And that gave me a push ki third year, let's go for a full thing. One more message to the students. If you closely observe the GATE syllabus, it's actually a combination of second and third year students. Very less content of final year, almost negligible. At least in electronics branch, electrical branch, I can say that. So because the syllabus is, whatever university may be, I'm not specifying to NIT Bhopal, whatever university may be, it is 95% or maybe 99% of your second and third year subjects. So already the GATE syllabus is what you are learning in second year, third year. Correct. Okay. So why not, those who are in second year right now, they are about to go into third year, guys, is a very clear message from my side. If you give your 6 months with full honesty, with full dedication, there is only one thing. As I told, even I'm going to the colleges, I'm taking the sheets of paper, solving there. Any competitive exam can only be cracked if you prioritize this. Okay, priority nahi hoga to you can't do it, because every day or other students coming with a doubt to me, sir, how to do with college, exams are coming, this is coming, that is coming, it's coming with everyone. Okay, but the point is, can you set a priority? Ki ye nahi to kuch nahi. If you do that, then you are going to achieve. मतलब आपका जो लक्ष्य है तब आपको जरूर मिलेगा.
Speaking of appearing in GATE examination in third year itself, there are few confusions, like obviously you won't be eligible for PSUs because you are going to require a degree, and also if you score very well, next year this will be valid for PSUs is not certain. Most of the PSUs want the recent one. So getting a good rank in third year will only help you to get a very good MTech, right? Because that will be valid for 3 years for all the IITs. But regardless, if you have already appeared in third year and let us say your performance was not that good, decent, but it will only improve now because now you have appeared with that much amount of preparation and you are only going to solidify that with revision, test series, practice and all that. So everyone requires, most of us, like I required 3 attempts in GATE examination and every time it was subsequently improving. So that experience is very necessary in third year itself.
Usually, earlier what was happening, students will appear first in the final year. Okay. Some of them will excel in the final year, but some of them may not. And then those who have the passion to crack only the GATE examination, they will take a drop and they will reappear and mostly they'll get a very good rank. Okay. So that's also that's not a bad option. If you have to go for PSU or masters, you can take a drop as well. But the benefit now is this policy of GATE is now saving 1 year. Your trial year should be third year. Okay. If it goes good, jumbo. Otherwise, final year is there to save you. At least you will learn a lot of experience. Okay. And if the students are started preparing from second year, I know the mentality of students and I've been in touch with them from 11 years now. And if there is no GATE in the third year, they will just be preparing. Suppose even I was the student, I started casually in July. Unless and until there was a notification coming up, I was not that serious. Okay. But once there is a goal and target in front of you, ki just upcoming February, my GATE exam is going to be conducted in third year, I will be serious. Okay. Correct. I will give at least my serious attempt. So that's a big opportunity.
All right. So just like you said that you started your preparation from July onwards, most people have this much amount of time, exactly where we are standing, 6 months of preparation. So what would you say to the students? What should be your 6-month preparation strategy? Whether you are in third year, you are in fourth year, you are dropout, something like that. But 6 months that you have, how should you utilize this time?
See, basically, if you're a beginner, first if I talk about beginners, your first target should be completing the syllabus with concepts. GATE is not at all an examination where you can mug up the things like university examination. In exams of university, student mostly will, give 1 or 2 sleepless nights and they are through the examination getting good pointers. And every engineer knows this reality.
Suggested also. That's what you should.
Yes, exactly. That's suggested. So, really this cannot work in GATE. Absolutely it can't work in GATE. So if you're a beginner, okay, it's your call. Either you may be following some coaching, offline coaching, online coaching, or you may be a self-study student. You can go for some very good standard books, start practicing from there, start learning from there. But first thing is focus on concepts. Don't mug up anything. Focus on concepts, understand how the formula coming up and practice as many numericals as you can. Okay. And then the next stage that comes is the test series. After the practice, one area where many students will lag, they will just keep pushing the test series. Okay, I'm not fully prepared, I will give it a 1 month later. Again, I'm not fully prepared, I will give it a 1 month later and later and later. And aisa karte, they enter around December, January. Now in that phase, they are seeing a bundle of books with them, so many notes. Okay, now there's a confusion. Should I revise the notes? Should I sit in the test? So I will go for revision of notes. Before the GATE examination, maybe 4 or 5 tests they are giving and going to the GATE examination. And especially because the GATE is now online, I suggest test series plays a very crucial role. Many of the brilliant students I have seen, they were extraordinary in their concepts, but their test series was very minimum practice and most of them were not very good not got very good success in GATE. Kuch rank aaya, but not what they deserve. So, being an online platform, virtual calculators are there. Usually students will, practice with their scientific calculator, Casio ones. They'll be practicing in offline mode, but, sitting in front of a computer screen for 3 hours, 180 minutes and a timer, psychological game bhi bahut impact karta hai.
Matter of fact, I suggest them to buy this mouse also because finally on the day of the examination, you will be typing with this only, but over here in the laptop, you will be touchpad and all that. So you should be getting the experience of what you will be having in the examination.
Right. So whatever you have, practice from virtual calculators right now, practice so many online tests. See, I don't suggest to go for mock test immediately, but you can go for topic wise test, then subject test, then you can go for mock test. But at least including all subject and mock test, I think minimum 80 to 100 online test a student must appear in this competitive era. This is what is my minimum figure. More than this is always best. But guys, minimum 80 to 100 you must appear. This plays a very big role. will make you habitual of virtual calculator. You know, our brain can be easily trained for anything. Virtual calculator to kuch bhi nahi hai. We can train, but only thing is if you are used to it.
I'll tell you my own story, sir. So back when I first found out that GATE is now having virtual calculator, I think in 2015 it got applied, and no, 2015 or 16 it got applied.
IISc Bangalore.
Yeah,
with IISc
correct.
Bangalore paper.
That was the first attempt that I had in GATE, and 2017 was my serious. So I just threw my Casio calculator away, and I just downloaded that app that we have now, and all the calculations I did with that calculator only. And after doing that for 6 months, I was having much more trouble with that Casio calculator. I was much more convenient with this one because it has all the functionalities actually.
Right. It actually, you know, actually students are not much aware about virtual calculator, but it has all, you know, if you know about the memory features and all, you can save the numbers, how you can retrieve the numbers. If you know, it's wonderful thing. As good as Casio, except few functionalities. So it's a good go.
Yeah, except like if you have to solve differential equation and all that.
Yeah, exactly. All those integral and matrix ko chhod ke, rest everything is there.
Okay, now let us come to this one. You have emphasized a lot when it comes to test series that it is important. Agreed, but when should we start? That is the question that is coming in the heads of a lot of students.
Yeah, exactly. So many students, as I told, will wait for October, November to start. You know, yeah, you should wait. That time is for mock practice. November, December is for mock. But I think, again specifying the same thing, online examination, your test series should start just within 1 month. Your preparation time.
All right. I mean, there are two kinds of test series: subject-wise test series and full-length test series.
And not subject-wise, even topic-wise.
Yeah.
Before going to subject-wise, student can go to topic-wise. And I suggest students to get at least 2 test series from the market. There are n number of available, but at least they can go for at least 2. I don't want to say any name, but whatever students find appropriate, at least 2 test series they should take up, so that they have enough number of tests, enough number of practice, good variation. One more thing, students keep on asking, sir, from where to practice the question? एक बहुत बड़ा question ये भी होता है. You know, they are not able to find sufficient resources for question. So guys, if you are taking tests, okay, and if you are solving 100 tests before going to the GATE examination, just imagine how many questions you are solving. So test automatically gives you question practice as well. And many things we learn from the test series, many new questions we get in the test series. So within 1 month, you should start with the topic-wise test.
That becomes extremely important, especially for electronics and communication, because the engineering services question and GATE question does not match really well when it comes to ECE.
Exactly.
And opposite to that, when it comes to mechanical, we solve engineering services question a lot, so we get a lot of practice from there as well. So yeah, test series becomes very, very important. So let me give you an example. I started studying in July. The whole July I took to finish one subject. So I've just started, so it will take a little bit more time. So let us say 30 days I took. So shall I give the subject-wise test series of the subject that I finished right away in August, June, July, August? Yeah, August.
Yes, that's what I suggest. Because it will, you know, it will give you multiple benefits. One is the insight of your subject. I mean, you have learned, but how much you are able to solve in a runtime atmosphere. And if not, you know, test series is not only for, you know, timer based exam or for question practice. Test series can only be effective if you analyze. So suppose if you give a 1 hour of test, I suggest minimum 1 hour for analysis. I mean, you know, what went wrong. Of course, no one will get 100% in the first test. So whether it was a low marks or high marks is a confidence for you. Low marks is a message for you, is a learner for you. So jo bhi mistakes hua, take out, you know, 30 minutes or 1 hour of time, sit and analyze. You know, what mistakes you made, because of which your marks are less. Whether it is a silly mistake, calculation based mistake, you forgot the formula, yeah, you have learned something wrong. Kabhi aisa bhi ho jata hai. So, you know, that can only be learned when you practice it.
All right. So one subject I completed, I'm immediately going to give, let us say, 1 subject-wise test, and let us say 4 or 5 topic-wise test from that subject. When do I give the subsequent subject-wise test? Obviously, we are going to give it second time, third time as well, as you have said that we should be giving hundreds of test series. So when should we give it again? During revision? After revision?
Yeah, you know, during the revision cycle, not after revision. Once you start revising, so revision will also be like, you know, when mostly people are revising, they will revise 2 to 3 subjects at a time. Okay. And it should be suggestible, because, you know, what is one common doubt in my 11 years with the students? Sir, I have studied excellent. Suppose mathematics, I am brilliant. Control system, I am brilliant. But after 4 months, I've forgotten the subject. That's a very common, and even in mechanical students will say, because the syllabus in mechanical itself is huge, around
regardless
11,
of
12
exam,
subjects.
it is common every exam.
It is a common doubt. So, you know, I will suggest one more thing if students are facing this problem. While you're studying any subjects, please make the short notes or micro notes also during that time.
Yeah.
Okay. Kabhi bhi, ऐसा feeling आ रहा है कि suppose I studied network in April, today is June end, I am forgetting. Actually students, you were not forgetting. You have not totally forgotten the subject, but because you have learned something new, so that is, backside in the memory, कहीं छुपा हुआ है, उसको बस निकालना है. Right. So, if you have the short notes, of course, now if you're, learning 2 more new subjects, you can't study that subject completely. But if you have the short notes, your micro notes, okay, just if you're going to the bed itself, you give 30 minutes, 30 minutes, a day. 1 week, your subject will be revised. So that also can be followed, and that will give you a psychological boost up. Yeah, whatever I learned is there in my brain. So that, please.
Yeah, how would you say that the revision cycle should go? It is a very complicated topic, that in what interval we should be revising a particular subject, how we should be, because another subject is right now completing and parallelly I have to throw the revision as well.
So revision, I break it into 2 parts. One is what I just said, once you finish the subject, maybe 2 months after that subject, you can just very briefly go through the short notes so that you are in touch with the subject. And then suppose after October, you have completed all the subjects. Okay. So after October, November, it should be strictly revision cycle. And how you can revise? You can take up 2 subjects at least parallelly. Because the, GATE, ultimately on the GATE examinations, you have to appear on an exam which is having 12 subjects or 10 subjects at a time. Right. So you should at the end create a habit of learning 2 to 3 subjects at least together. So that, your brain adapts to all subjects, reading all the concepts like EDC bhi padha aapne, you're studying communication also. Not 10 in a day, but at least 2 to 3 subjects in a day. Okay, you can divide it in a slot of, 4 hours, because I believe a serious student at the last will be giving nearly 10 to 12 hours. Okay. Yes. Now don't bother much right now. Those who are preparing the beginning, those who are, just beginners. Okay. They can just start with 4 or 5 hours also, because, one common question again student will have, how many hours to study? And if I directly say 12 hours, it's a waste advice. Directly no one can start with 12 hours. You will collapse. So rather than collapsing, let's build it up. Build it up by, 3 to 4 hours, 3 to 4 hours. After 1 month, make it 5 hours. After 1 month, 6 hours. Automatically, November aate baate, you will have a habit of going to 10 to 12 hours. But in the last 3 months, it should be minimum 10 to 12 hours. That's what I believe. And you can divide it into 3 subjects.
Yeah. So basically, we are looking at the timeline of 6 months. So when will you say our syllabus should be done?
If those who are starting from July, November should be the deadline. Those who have already started from January, February, their deadline can be somewhere around September to mid-October.
All right. And then you should be focusing on revision all the time.
Revision and test. Revision, test.
Revision and full length test, right?
Full length test, yeah. And even subject test,
Subject-wise test.
At the last time, you can skip topic-wise test. Yeah, at the last, you can give maybe those topic-wise tests at which you are weak.
Yeah.
Try to make it more strong, but at least at the last, more focus should be on complete subject test and the mock test.
Okay. So this is how I did, and this is what I suggest. So hear me. So what I used to do is that go through a full length test series, and like you said, that you should always do analysis after that. So once you analyze, you are going to find your weaknesses, and the weak subjects you are going to give subject wise test series. Like that, you can work on your weakness, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So that is how you should do. Now let us focus in that little part, that is the analysis. Very, very important, very less understood by students. What should we do during the analysis?
Analysis means, first of all, getting your real status. There can be a student who got maybe 30% marks in a specified test. So yeah, maybe he might be demotivated immediately, but I suggest you, even during my time, or you talk to any of the toppers, okay, it have been the Ashish, maybe with Ashish also the experience, that there will be some test where we fail. We get 30% marks, we get 40% marks. So guys, this will keep on happening. Demotivate hoge, so think about toppers, ki they also were unsuccessful in some of the test. Okay, 5 minutes ke liye demotivation rakho, go ahead. Go ahead with the analysis part. Now, why you could not score the 70% or 60%? Okay, is your syllabus not complete? Okay, or is there anything that you were not solving in the regular questions? You have solved a lot of questions, but there is something new. So what, kabhi-kabhi aisa hota hai when we are reading from the theory books, not maybe every concept is covered. We have missed 1 or 2 concepts. Kabhi ho jata hai aisa. So while practicing test series, we may get a new 1 or 2 more variety of question. So take it as a good thing. Nahi solve hua, but at least you have learned something. Okay, include that in your short notes if it is already made, whatever you learn. And I think for a test series, like students make short notes. Student can maintain 1 register, especially for test series. Okay, whatever new they are learning, something new formula, some new trick, note it down in the register. That can be a dedicated test series register. Okay, this particular date, this subject I learned this new. That should be noted. If you don't note it now, maybe again after 1 month you will forget and you will be just searching up that whole online platform, ki where was that test, where was that concept. So please maintain a separate register only for online test series.
Some people note down the questions as well of the test series that they were not able to solve. What do you say to that?
Yeah, that's also suggestible. I mean, there's no harm in that. Okay, because maybe not every question, but especially the challenging questions. Okay, kabhi-kabhi aisa hota hai ki, I am not able to solve a question. I knew it, but I just did a blunder in the question. So maybe not that question is important to note, but if I get a question which I wasn't able to solve, some new thing is there, that you can note down along with its concept.
That is
definitely be.
That is suggested, but don't note down almost all the questions that
not almost all,
because you won't be able to, because a lot of students have this mentality ki baad mein kar lenge, abhi note down kar lete hain, and then you'll have this thick notebook of all the questions and you won't be getting
that's what I will do. One register, maximum one register for online test series. It should include everything. वो भी पूरा complete नहीं होगा, but maximum one register is sufficient. It should not be like one subject, or 10 registers for the entire test series. It becomes a syllabus then.
All right, so you are just increasing the work in the wrong direction. So that clears up the whole thing of what you should be doing in the 6 months that are remaining for you guys. Strategize accordingly and obviously make your plan according to your whole way of studying and all. But now let us get to the area of electronics and communication engineering, because you are certainly an expert in that field. So share a little bit about what are the major subjects, what are the subjects with which we should start our preparation, and how we should be studying different subjects.
Yes. So, there are always some subjects which are having prerequisites. Okay. So, if I talk strictly about electronics, a student, a beginner can, pick up mathematics as well, because mathematics is now 13 marks fixed in GATE, and also some areas in mathematics like especially probability is very much useful in communication. It's actually a part of communication. There's a whole theory in communication, random variable and random process, where probability is required. Then some areas of linear algebra, matrices we study in the state space analysis and control systems. Okay, and then calculus is useful everywhere. The concepts of maxima, minima, functions are everywhere. So you can start up with mathematics, parallelly one technical subject. Now what could be the beginning technical subject? You can pick up either network or control or digital. Okay, these three you can easily pick up. They will not have any prerequisite, except in control system you need to have very basic of Laplace, जो आपको पता होगा, just very basic formulation of Laplace, nothing more. So these three can be the beginning choice for students. Okay, because once they are comfortable in network, they can go forward for the subjects like analog. That's very much very important subject, analog. Okay, then signals and systems is required before going to communication. Okay, so students must first go through network, control, digital, and signals on the fourth line, I will say. Then they can appear in the subjects like communication, analog, EDC, definitely. Okay. Regarding aptitude, I have one suggestion to the student, because aptitude is a 15 marks weightage. That is very crucial. That can be a rank changer or a rank booster, you can say. But to be honest, aptitude is not a subject for engineers, which they need to give 10 days, 15 days rigorously. Okay, आप लोग engineers हो, you have already gone through the phase of IIT or IIEEE exams, JEE examinations, so you are pretty decent in maths, and the level of aptitude in GATE is very simple. Even if you look at the GATE 21 also, it's very simple. So rather than giving 10-15 days, it's a wastage of 10-15 days. Daily 30 to 45 minutes you can take up one simple topic, because you know all the topics, what is profit, what is loss, what is interest and all. Everyone knows, it's nothing new. Only thing you need to practice the questions. So daily 30-45 minutes, daily make a target. There's one more benefit of this. Your aptitude is also finished, and also it's like a brain refresher. Sometimes lot of technical, we are tired, we are exhausted, and then what we do, we'll open up our mobile, start playing games, or waste the time. Rather than wasting the time, refresh your brain through aptitude, solving some basic puzzle type of questions, reasoning type of question. So that will be good utilization of time.
All right.
And in electronics, unlike other branches, there isn't any subject which carries very less weightage. Okay, see, like in electrical, if I talk about the subjects like digital, or analog. Individually, they have very low weightage, like 3 to 4 marks. Measurement have a weightage of 3 to 4 marks. Okay, maybe some situation is there in mechanical also, some subjects carrying maybe very less marks. But in electronics, the situation, I don't think any subject carries 3 to 4 marks. Almost every subject average weightage is above 8. So that speaks a lot that, you shouldn't skip any subject. Okay, some subjects 8 to 9, some subjects 10, 11. Maximum 11, 12 is the range. So all subjects will have the weightage around 8 to 12. Right, so all should be equally focused. And during October or November, you should never have a question, sir, which subject should I skip now? I don't have that much of time left. If you have that question, if you have that question, you cannot be even in the top 100 as well, I believe, because losing out of 10 marks. One subject means you have lost the competition of 10 marks. So, focus equally on all subjects. Maybe one particular subject may be weak. Everyone's one or two subjects will be weak. But GATE का paper कुछ ऐसा होता है ना, suppose communication. Maybe it is one of the tough subjects, or EMT, it is one of the tough subjects. Surprisingly, GATE 21, EMT, which is a challenging subject for students, it was one of the easiest in GATE 21. Usually it is challenging, but think about those students जिनने सोचा था कि EMT नहीं पढ़ना है, it is tough. They have totally lost the 11 marks. It was 11 marks this time. They have totally lost it. Okay, even if they had studied little bit, thoda bahut weak bhi rahe honge, so those students might have got 7-8 marks. That can be a game changer. So don't skip any subject.
Yeah, so the competition these days are skyrocketing, and since 2016 only, I'm seeing that electronics and communication is very much shoulder to shoulder with the mechanical engineering, as when it comes to the number of students that are appearing and the toppers, the marks that they are getting. Let us get into that, since you have been following this for a long time. You must be having great knowledge in this. What were the toppers' marks in the past couple of years?
See, electronics not in number of aspirants, okay, but in the toppers mark, and it's not exactly matching with mechanical.
Yeah, it is rising from 70 to now 80.
Yeah, it is definitely rising. But then there are fluctuations every time. Like this year, GATE 21 especially, this has been a low scoring.
All right.
Usually 70 plus we suggest. And now suppose, what is my normal suggestion? Someone asks, sir, I want to get all India rank under 100. Yeah, I want to get a PSU. Minimum I suggest more than 70 marks. But this time more than 70 marks, you are even under 20.
Oh, what was the toppers? I was not aware of that.
So this time toppers is around 81 marks.
Okay, 81.
Yeah. A topper, I think itself is an educator. It is 81 marks.
Right. Last year?
So, last year, to be precise, somewhere around the same. I exactly don't remember.
Okay.
Somewhere around the same, around 80 to 85 it was for last year also. This is almost the same trend. Right. Except for very few years, maybe 2 or 3 times in electronics, we have seen toppers going up to 90 or so, 90, 91. But usually it doesn't go 80, 85, 86 tak gaya hai.
Okay. 2017, I remember it was somewhere in 70s only. The topper.
Yes, exactly. And even if you go, if you go to 2012, it was 66.
Yeah.
So
if you go back to 2008, you are going to see the most striking difference. In 2008, IISc Bangalore was setting the paper.
Yes, it has 2008, 2016. Yeah. Right. So it keeps on varying based on the level of the paper. But this year, relatively, it was low scoring. 70 plus is always under 100, but this time 70 plus, you are under 10-15 rank. Maybe because some of the questions were lengthy in nature, some indirect questions were there. But I believe if the paper sometimes is difficult, it is good for those aspirants who have really prepared conceptually.
Correct.
Easy paper hai na, so we can't really distinguish a good student and average student. Yes, exactly. Right. But on an average, let's not talk about especially GATE 21. But on an average, if I talk, if you want to be under 100 in electronics, minimum 70 plus.
And then it shifts huge also. Like when the topper and the second topper and the 10th topper, the marks will be large only. And then it all is compiled very close.
Yeah. If you come in electronics, if you come close to 60 marks around, 60, 62 marks, 1 mark can make you slide 100, 200 ranks. That close it is. That close it will be. So, but I'll suggest one thing, like I'm telling 70, 75, keep your target. Okay. That should be the minimum target, because what many students, firstly, they will keep the target as 85, 90. And if you keep that target, you pressure yourself so much that you're not able to perform on your own. Of course, someone is getting above 80, you can also get, but have a target which is first of all achievable in your mind. And minimum, set a minimum target, 70, 75, you can be very good in here, you can get PSUs and all.
And what about IISc Bangalore? We can get that?
IISc Bangalore you can get, depends on the branch, like microelectronics, because now there's been a trend change from last year because of the COVID situation. The CAM has come, career analysis marks.
All right.
Okay.
What is that?
There's a new thing in that is CAM. IISc call it as CAM, career analysis marks. It's not for all the disciplines.
All right.
Okay, but it is there especially for microelectronics and some of the other disciplines as well. What IISc is doing now, 30% weightage will be, at the time of admission, 30% weightage will be given to CAM. I mean, CAM is career analysis marks. Your B.Tech percentage, your 11th, 12th marks. 10th, 12th marks will be mattering.
All right. That will be disheartening for a lot of people actually.
Yeah. Maybe it is a bonus also for some of the students.
Yes.
And 70% weightage will be given to your GATE score. 30% is a big weightage.
Is it only for IISc Bangalore or all the IITs?
Yeah. As of now, it's no for IISc Bangalore. Okay, so that is really crucial now, and they just introduced in 2020 because of the COVID situation. Interviews were cancelled and all. But maybe this is not a long-lasting trend. When the situations are normal, when they can take up all the physical interviews, maybe they'll back to interviews.
Okay, all right.
So
great. You shared huge amount of information. Matter of fact, we should do few podcasts on specific things like revision and all, because we can get into detail on that. But right now, definitely. I want to bring a surprise question to you so that I can get the opinion that only you can share. So after you got a rank of All India rank of 9 in 2010, you got into the teaching industry. And in the private course that we had, you explained very well that you are very enthusiastic about teaching. That is where you wanted to develop a career. That is what you love to do. But in the past 11 years of what we have seen teachers in coaching industry, how do you think things are changing for their career? Because we have seen how PSUs got in, how PSUs got out, how COVID got in, and then everything got online. From your perspective, I want to see how macroscopic you can see things, how it is changing.
I started my teaching career from 2010 only. During that time, GATE was very much emerging. Okay, and it was an offline examination, so everything was offline. Even the test series, whatever we are conducting, is offline, right? I then went into masters for 2 years, but during my masters also, not in the first year. First year is very, very tough in IISc because of the coursework. We'll speak about that also if possible.
Yes.
But then in second year, when I got the opportunity, I took some classes on weekend, in Karnataka only, because I was in Bangalore. Yeah. So Bangalore and the areas connected to Bangalore's weekend, I was taking the class. 2013, I full-fledged entered into this industry. Then 2014 GATE became online, so people started working for the online content, how online test series should be, how the pattern will be. There's a new question, NAT introduced. Okay, so the teaching methodology should also include NAT, because NAT accuracy matters a lot. So how students can be accurate as well, that also is required, because prior to that, teachers are also giving the approach of only MCQ. Ki beta, this is how you can select the options and go forward for the next. But in NAT you need to have a complete approach, so we need to change our methodology to adapt to NAT questions. Year by year NAT weightage kept on increasing. First year it was small, but now approximately now it is around 50%, 45 to 50%. Okay, so I have been associated with I have run my own organizations as well because of my passion. I have been associated with ACE Engineering Academy as well, but prior to lockdown I just associated with lockdown. Before the lockdown, I associated myself with the Grade Up. Okay, and that was just maybe before the lockdown period.
Yes.
Okay, I was actually in a mood to enter online, because from 2018 onwards, I was having the idea that online is going to get a boom now. People are moving online. Some teachers are already moving online, and students are a little bit adapting.
Sense of future.
So somewhere around February, I had the final discussions with Grade Up, and I joined up in the month of March. And I was there in Noida at Grade Up, and soon, maybe after 10 days after that, there was a lockdown situation. So I joined before lockdown, and it was a good opportunity because after lockdown anyways, we have to move online. Yeah. So then there came a new experience, teaching totally online. Initially I started with this pen tablet mode and all, taking YouTube sessions as well. Online there's a lot of things, not only teaching the paid students, but we are taking classes on YouTube as well for the self-study students. Those who want to prepare on their own, we are giving some content on the YouTube, on our app as well. And then, the technology keep on emerging. We have these smart boards with us, it's all together very beautiful experience teaching on these devices. Because when we are teaching on offline whiteboards, we have to write down everything. Here we have everything animated, PPTs ready, animations. Sometimes if some concepts are required, like I'm teaching antenna, so I'm showing you the animations to the students, how antennas are actually radiating. In a physical class, that may not be always possible. Okay.
Yes,
so how the chip, even the faculties which are dealing with analog, they can talk in much detail about how these IC fabrications are done. So there's a lot of technology added to the education now with students, which is also beneficial to the students. Okay. Suppose like if students are having some doubt in control system, there's a very important topic, Nyquist plot. So we can, immediately, get the help of MATLAB and do the Nyquist plotting on the MATLAB itself. Yeah. So, there's a lot of technology. So I think it's good with students' point of view that they are just sitting at the home and they are getting a good content.
Cost is also reducing, right? Because
definitely the cost of online education is much less than the offline. Okay. And offline education does not only mean the fees of offline. Of course, the fees itself is heavy, but the students will be moving, away from their homes. So whenever you are moving to a new city, 10 to 15,000 per month you are spending on food and etc. etc. There are a lot of expenses added. Okay. But with this, you are sitting at home, no extra expenses, and you're learning with technology. The great thing is that you're, learning with GIFs, animations, and that adds quality to the teaching.
So you would say that online teaching is much better. Do you prefer online when it comes to offline?
See, both have pros and cons. Yes. Anything cannot be the best always. Yeah. Of course, as I told you, online is embedded with technology, and at the comfort of students, they don't have to go anywhere. They are safe at the home. Only thing is, if it is offline, we are having one-to-one interaction with the students. Okay.
They themselves get a community, right? They are staying over there.
Even in online, we are trying to get students in a community through WhatsApp, Telegram groups. Yeah, through groups and all they are doing. But it cannot be 100% as good as physical. But then you are getting much better content. Everything we can balance up the things.
Yeah, it has to be all right. It has to be weighed. There are always pros and cons, but you elaborated very well. Now the final question that I think that only you can answer: where is it heading 10 years later?
I think 10 years later, it's going to be a combination of online, offline, but online being more dominating. That's what I feel. Because, as I told you, from 2017-18, I was sensing that I also need to move online, maybe I need to start up something. But that time, it was the phase when students are also not much aware about online and they are used to offline. But what these 2 years have happened, especially with the second wave, people were expecting that offline again will restart, and actually it restarted. It restarted from January, February, but again the month of March and the second wave struck again, and now it is again totally offline, and third wave is anticipated. So students will not take any chance right now, maybe for the upcoming 1 year. So what is this phase given to the students? Now they are habitual to online. Okay. Earlier, there were some students, those who were reluctant going to online. They were just waiting, but now there is no chance of waiting. And this is giving students adaptability. And as I told in the beginning also with some other contest, our brain can adapt to anything if we are regular onto it. So I think because of this adaptability, the reach of online, you can be at any part of the country and you can enjoy the contents of the best of the faculty, whatever you like. There are lots of educators available in every branch. So, you can choose your best educator and you can learn with them at any part of the country. That adaptability is coming with the students. So that is why I see online being more dominant.
Great. Looking at the bright side. That is great. Gives us a very good perspective. Now, sir, we want to move to the last part of this whole podcast. This is something very new. I'm starting it with you for the first time. This is what we are going to call technical talk. And in this, the brains that we have in this podcast, like you yourself, you are masters from IISc Bangalore, one of the best students you must have been at that time, and you have such huge experience in technical field. So with you, we would like to start with IC design and VLSI. What can you explain about that? It will give a very good idea to the students who are preparing.
See,
what they might see.
What I can give the suggestion to the students, those who are doing engineering right now. See, when you are preparing for GATE, okay, see, when we are only preparing for college, that is just a very casual studies we know. But when we are preparing for GATE, so actually we are learning the concepts. You can pick up the subjects like digital or analog, which are related to the IC design. Being in India, let me tell you, the most of the work is in digital side. Okay, I mean digital VLSI, more work is in there. Whatever countries whatever companies you talk about, whether it is Nvidia or Intel or Texas or Analog Devices, I have many of my friends working in these companies. But majority of the work in our country is in digital VLSI rather than analog VLSI. So anyone having the, interest in digital side, you can first, of course, learn the concepts through GATE examination. The first is concept, getting hold, what counters are, what flip-flops are, how you can design a sequential circuit. But if you get a real interest, okay, maybe first step is qualify the GATE examination, okay, because even if you do a little bit smaller project on your own, but if you don't reach a good level, if you don't reach a PSC, or if you don't reach a good master's place, then maybe that knowledge of you might not be that useful, unless and until you are from a very strong B.Tech college like IIT or something.
Yes.
Okay, for them GATE is not a very big requirement, I know. But for a normal engineering college student, first target GATE, learn your concepts, and maybe just as you qualify the GATE, and if you have interest in these subjects like digital or analog, I'll suggest you, there are so many softwares available. Okay, you can contact us. I can, the students which are in contact with Ashish, I can, if they need, we can directly provide some softwares to them as well.
Yeah, I'll put all the contact information in the description box.
Yes, exactly. So, there are some softwares. They can get the FPGA boards in the college. Every college laboratory will have some FPGA boards. They can download the softwares like Xilinx, in them. And they can, real time, they can try to simulate some circuits, some digital circuits, or even if they have much level interest, they can go for analog circuits as well. Because when I actually went into IISc, that time, before going to masters, personally speaking, I was also not much aware about the technology. Okay, although I was very good conceptually, although I was very good mathematically. Okay, one of my major reasons of success, you can say, is mathematics also, because since childhood I am very good at mathematics, and I was easily able to handle the complete engineering subjects, and many subjects are very much closely related to maths in our branch.
Especially in ECE, yeah.
Yeah, actually in ECE it is the case. So it was one of that advantage with me. But when I went into IISc, I felt that, there are students from the southern part of the country which are having much better practical knowledge than me. And it's a reality, even a normal private engineering colleges in the southern part of the country are much more better in the curriculum and practical. Okay, I think I was lagging behind. So I took it as a challenge, I need to improve in my technical, I was spending a separate time on learning the assignments. How the assignments in IISc was, it was not like a written assignment where you have to copy down something and submit to the professor. No, the assignment itself is just like a mini project. Okay, suppose I'm having 5 subjects in the semester, out of which 3 to 4 will be having some mini projects, and that mini project is like, one mini project is like one project of B.Tech. You can feel that much we are learning. Okay, we are designing, and actually we had the one mini project of designing itself a microprocessor in one of our courses. Okay, so now the technology has evolved a lot. World has changed. So I'm suggesting student, why to wait for going to the masters? As soon as you clear GATE, okay, as Ashish told, we'll be sharing the contacts if you need help. Okay, even I do have a Telegram group. I can post some softwares. I can guide the students there as well if students are interested. How to go for this IC design. And I believe, as I told, in my time there were very less core jobs in electronics. That is what I went for GATE. But recently, in the upcoming time, as the government is working, and the Digital India project, the Make in India projects are there will be definitely a boom of especially VLSI. Some more semiconductor laboratories will be set up in the countries, and that will be a good opportunity for electronics core students. Okay, so, and that should be coming up in the near future. I'm not talking about 10 years down the line, but very near future, we can anticipate these things happening. So if you really want to be good in electronics right now, so suppose if you are going to an interview and you don't know anything about chip designing, okay, you only know theory ki how AND gate works, or what is the definition of AND gate, F equal to A into B. No one is going to give you any job or based on that. Okay, but do you know actually insides of gate, how they are built, how they are fabricated? Okay, and how, if I give you a circuit, can you simulate that circuit at least on a FPGA board? Can you give me the real-time results? If this is a counter, how it is working? Can you connect it with a 7-segment display and prove me the counter is, tickling up with 0, 1, 2, 3? Okay, can you design a 7-segment display? 7-segment display which are used in the traffic lights or all the digital meters. Bikes mein bhi jo display hota hai, that is what is known as the 7-segment display. And it's very easy to design. I'm talking about the very basic thing. मैं बहुत ज़्यादा तो B.Tech के लिए बोलूँगा भी नहीं. So whatever is possible. These days B.Tech students at least can target designing a 8-bit processor. I'm not talking about a 64-bit design, but at least you can try a 8-bit basic ALU. Okay, basic ALU means which is able to perform some arithmetic and logical operations, basic arithmetic operation. Okay, addition, subtraction, and then ANDing, ORing, XORing. At least 8-bit processor ALU you can try to target in your projects. Whatever projects you are doing, do it by your own, because lots of B.Tech students, there's a group of 5 to 6 in the B.Tech project, 1 or 2 are very serious, 3 to 4 just वो दोस्ती यारी में उनका project बन जाता है. More than that, there is a trend, students are going to purchase market projects. मतलब they are not at all interested in building the projects and they are just going to the market and buy it from the market. But let me tell you, वो आपको temporary happiness दे देगा, but after the gate, interview phase will come. Okay, and IITs,
I get that question very often.
Right.
What do I do? I bought my project.
Yes, but what will happen especially in IISc and IIT interview, they will, in interview what they will ask, they will ask basic questions regarding to your GATE syllabus only. But there are 2 things they will mostly focus. One is your project. As I told you, IISc, every course itself is having a mini project, so they want to test how much good you are in project. Okay. आप सारे क्वेश्चंस आंसर कर दो, बट यू आर नॉट एबल टू जस्टिफाई इन योर प्रोजेक्ट. दे आस्क यू व्हाट वाज योर बीटेक फाइनल ईयर प्रोजेक्ट. यू टेल सर दिस इज व्हाट इज द नेम, व्हाट यू डिड. यू आर ब्लैंक बिकॉज यू परचेज फ्रॉम द मार्केट. थोड़ा बहुत बता पाओगे जितना आपने रट लिया होगा, बट नॉट मोर देन दैट.
You will only be able to explain it to your college professors who took your Viva and presentations.
But not to the IISc and IIT professors. And if you fail in that area, most likely you are not going to get selected. Okay. In IISc there is a department. See, there in VLSI related there are 2 departments. One is microelectronics. Okay. And one of them is DESE, Department of Electronics and Systems Engineering. Okay. Earlier it was known as CEDT in my time. That is a department, because of which placements are pretty good in IISc. Okay, because most of the professors in that department have been, associated with companies like, they have worked in the companies like Texas or Intel, and they are also currently the consultants of those companies. That is one department where, you will not find maybe a professor coming from MIT or Stanford. Okay, he might not be from a very good university like Stanford, but he has, around 7 to 8 years of experience with Texas. And he's there in the institute to give all his practical knowledge, his experience, and is there to teach the students in that particular manner. Right. So when you are aiming to reach such an organization, such a level, okay, where you are going to work with such kind of professors, try to make better yourselves from the graduation only. The pehli priority gate ko rakho, get your concepts, because without concepts, practical bhi zero hai. If you don't know the concepts, aap kuch bhi bana doge. Okay, so
but after concepts, I think learn the practical applications as well.
Right. Small projects. Design a traffic light system. Practical आपको देखने को मिलेगा. You are daily walking on the street. You are seeing some traffic light. Can't you design it? You can design it at the B.Tech level. Nothing new. Okay. Start with the basic 7-segment display. Okay. Aim up to the final year complete term. Aim at least for processor. Designing a processor, or at least some part of a processor. ALU integrated with memory. Some part you can design. You'll really feel good, and you'll have good job opportunities as well.
All right. Okay, sir. That was very, very interesting. Now, let us get into one part, that is the final goal. It might also motivate a lot of people and also might rule out a lot of people who actually thought that the goal would be something else. So how is the life of 2 years in IISc Bangalore? What do you focus on? How's the study like? How it goes?
Yeah, definitely. So, as I entered IISc, as I told, the scenario and my experience was totally different what I felt in NIT, because lot of emphasis on every subject is on practicality. And as I told, I took it as a challenge also, and I actually learned a lot of things. The first year, especially the first semester, was a little challenging with me. Okay, because of lot of practical work as compared to what I was not aware earlier. But then, at the end of first semester, I was really happy. I learned a lot of things. I've learned, some coding languages, hardware coding languages, not the regular C, C++, but we have the, coding languages like VHDL or Verilog. I learned Verilog in my first, and in my second semester subject, I had the application of VHDL. Okay, the professors in IISc, to be honest, some of them are very good teachers, but not all the professors of IISc are, good teachers. They are very good at the project work. Okay, they are very good at whatever they are doing. They have lots of project, accustomed with the industries as well. But they are not sometimes very good explainers, not very good teachers. But what made us learn is the surrounding as well. I am All India rank 9. In my branch, there was All India rank 3rd, All India rank 7th, First was not there in my branch. All India rank first was in communication. He was in IISc, but he opted for communication because of his personal interest. Usually toppers in electronics will usually opt for microelectronics or VLSI because of the placement situation. Okay, it's more rare. But the All India rank first was in communication, but All India rank 3rd, 7th, and then I was 9th, All India rank 12. And then there were others as well, and then there are some people which are, coming up from the organizations like ISRO or the Air Force. They are known as a sponsored candidate. The ISRO sponsors them to complete their 2 years of masters.
Quota.
Yeah, scientist quota, you can say. So, already they are having a lot of work experience. They have worked in, 3 to 4 years in the ISRO only. One of my very good friend, I developed very good friendship with one of that person as well, Harish. So, we are actually in a group who are, either have been already ISRO scientists or All India rank 3rd, 5th, 6th. So, even if we are not getting something from the class, now we ourselves, have such a good atmosphere within us that we are trying to explain the things to ourselves, how we can implement, this project so that it consumes the minimum power. Because, in VLSI, power and delay plays a lot of role. You have designed the circuit, but how fast it is and how much less power it consumes. There are two things were very, very crucial. Bana to liya hai, lekin if it's a very high, consuming high power, that's not good. So that's the whole work VLSI going on that ways only. Minimizing the power, minimizing the delay. So, we were having a thoughtful group that is not only exams we have to crack, but we have to learn something new. We are spending, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. in the laboratories only. The best thing in IISc, laboratories are open throughout. There is no timing restriction. Anytime you can be in the laboratory, anytime you can be in the room. So you will see many of the IISc students, at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. only in the laboratories, learning some new things and then going to the bed. So that made us learn how the real-time circuits work. जो केवल हम गेट में देखते थे कि this is a circuit, this is a integrator, या this is a counter, but how it is working, how it can fail if you don't take care of the timing analysis. Other than that, when I entered the second year, I got my major project discussed with my guide, and my major project was on a simulator. Usually, we simulate the circuits, but my major project was on designing a simulator. Okay, my professor was having a project of designing a simulator. Like I told you, Xilinx and all are already simulator in which you can try to simulate a circuit, and there are codes, VHDL, Verilog, which you can design the circuits. But my project was building itself a simulator, due to which I had to go into Java as well. Matlab, it was an integration of electronics and coding. So I learned Java as well. Whatever, there are so many challenges that will keep on coming in IISc, you need to learn. Okay, and then, the great personalities, like while in my second year, Abdul Azad Kalam, he was in our college.
APJ Abdul Kalam, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Vinod sir also was talking about that. I think he was also in IISc Bangalore around the same time. So he said,
I think he started in 2013.
Yeah. So I don't know. Someone else was also saying maybe he saw him in some other place. I don't know. But yeah.
No, maybe he's coming regularly also. During my time, he came for some inauguration purpose, and then we had the chance to see such a big personality, what the world knows. So there are so many experiences. And then there are some, directors or great scientists from DRDO or other organizations coming for some talks, for some seminars, for guiding us on what is going on in ISRO and DRDO.
The whole heart of research. For example, Dr. Vikram Sarabhai was also over there.
Yes, exactly.
His teacher, C.V. Raman, was almost kind of like the founder of IISc Bangalore.
Bangalore, yes.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
So it is a place brimming with talent. Has always been.
And that exposure actually gave me, and because of that, I know what I little bit knew what IISc is. I got my teaching opportunity from 2010. I could have continued teaching, but I never wanted to miss that one lifetime chance IISc, because it's very difficult to get there. Extremely so, I definitely, completed my dream of going into masters. Okay, to learn. My only objective in going in IISc was, to learn, because I didn't have any botheration with the placements and all, because it was pre-decided mind of a teacher that I'm going to come back. And that is why in the second year of masters itself, I started teaching also, and I'm there in the industry because of my passion. So I didn't have any, कि मैं just placement के लिए पढ़ना है. Many students are studying only for placement. Okay. In IISc, many students are studying not at all for placement, and means not like me. My passion is different. Higher studies. My passion is different. My passion is teaching. But people just want to go for higher studies, PhD. Okay, and actually, in IISc, you will find professors from everywhere: Stanford, MIT, Illinois, everywhere you will get, so that you can get the good recommendations also.
Yeah.
We know going abroad is not as easy just getting a GRE rank, but you need some recommendations as well. And IISc or IITs can, the type of professors you meet there can be a really, and if you convince them, and their recommendation will definitely work. So those who are interested in higher studies, they also don't bother much about the placement. They focus on their project area and they mostly try to plan for higher education. Okay, there are some students who study only for placement. That is also there. Okay, so because placement is almost assured in IISc. Yeah. Okay, it's that who want to get placed in IISc will always get placed. Jisko chahiye hi nahi, that's a different area. Going into research is the individual's choice. There is one myth many students might have about IISc as compared to IIT Bombay or IIT Delhi. Yeah. That is regarding to the placement. But guys, placement is, if I talk about my microelectronics branch as well, in my time, microelectronics, we had a crowd of 16. 16 means inclusive of all sponsored and TechIP students and the regular students. But those who were eligible for campus were around 13 students, excluding the sponsored candidates and all. 35 students, you can say, in the DESC department, earlier known as CEDT, which I mentioned. So, in and around total 50 students, everyone got placed. In fact, situation aisa ho gaya that, the last of the companies which are coming for recruitment, all the microelectronics and CDT students are placed. No one is left. So, last 3 students got recruited into hardware companies from communication department. So, that is why electronic students, the first choice is always microelectronics or VLSI, because placement is always on the board. Whatever college you are getting, even if you are getting, suppose hota hai na kabhi you are not getting the top rank in GATE, but you are getting some, mediocre type of rank, you can get NIT Trichy or NIT Warangal. There also you should focus mostly on microelectronics. And that is what I'm telling, because the major work is in microelectronics. From your B.Tech itself, you should be aware about this IC designing. Okay, maybe, if possible, we can plan later on some more technical sessions for these guys. Sure. If they are interested in technical, where we will hardcore talk only about technical. Okay, no gossip and all, just pure technical. Students ko explain karenge about IC design or the type of softwares I was mentioning, as Xilinx, how to, work on FPGA boards, we can talk about that. Yeah. But those who want to pursue their career in microelectronics, definitely try from now on. But going into ISC, very big experience. You will learn a lot. Okay, you will learn something that you never learned. Okay, one of my own, again, personal experience, one of my course, I took it from the computer science department as well, because I'm very good at mathematics. It's my love, you can say. So computer science department mein jaake maine course kiya known as the probability and statistics. All right. Because as I told, it's useful in our core area, communication as well. And I do take mathematics sessions also, and I'm taking mathematics with grade up and since 11 years also. So because of my interest, but you can explore your interest there. My interest, I wanted to learn random variables, probability. So I went into computer science department. There are optional courses. So I took one of the optional courses from there. Okay. Yeah. There was a course that is within our department only. And, actually what we learned in that course is a small part of designing of one of the Intel processor only. Intel processor, everybody in your, laptops and all are using the Intel processors mostly. So I got an opportunity, I got a course where we were learning about Intel processors only, a complete dedicated course on that under the Professor Jamdagni. He was an excellent person. Okay, I think he has retired now, but his aura, excellent. So, there are so many professors. I remember, Professor Amruta Bharadwaj, Jamdagni, under which we learned a lot. My guide was Professor S.K. Nandi, under which I tried to build a part of a simulator. I had to learn coding. I learned it. And actually, it's good that I feel I was a part of a team making a simulator. So,
it is a great place that not only teaches you but inspires you to teach a lot more. We have had people from IISc Bangalore before, and all of them almost shared the same experience that number one, it was much better than what I expected before I got over there. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity. You never want to miss it. Matter of fact, Vinod sir, who was over here, he was all India rank of 1. And he actually missed ISRO. He was All India rank of 3 in ISRO also, but he did not join ISRO because he wanted to be in IISc Bangalore. Sir, as promised, I'm going to set you free because it is getting very close to your class timing. That is 6 o'clock.
Yes.
And it was a fantastic experience talking to you. Got much more question, wanted to ask you a lot of things, but I thought that it would be much better if we can continue it in some other podcast. Like we have discussed, surely be on Spacecast where we can talk in detail about VLSI,
about
hardcore, technical.
Yes, sure. We'll talk about technology. We'll guide the students regarding the technology.
Yes.
Definitely.
We are going to do it very soon. It was a great experience, sir. Thank you for being over here. And I'm sure that the students got a lot of information that they were not aware of.
Thank you, Ashish. And guys, just one last message. Cracking GATE is not at all a rocket science. Okay. Before preparing, I also didn't know where I'm going to land up. Okay, it was just my pure 6 months of dedication, consistency that got me All India rank 9th in the first attempt. So if I could get it in first attempt, you should also try in third year, or even if you're in final year, just be first attempt. It is quite possible to crack GATE in the first year. Give your best in first year. If nothing happens, then you have a backup. Okay, but try to give your best in first attempt. Have that attitude, because most important thing is believing in yourself and developing the attitude. If you have the attitude, you will crack it up. If you're lagging in attitude, then nothing can help out. So have a positive mind frame. Yes, it is a crackable examination with a good rank, and go with it. Kill it. It's quite possible. And we'll talk about some more technologies later on.
Great. With those fine words, we are going to end this episode of Momentum Podcast. It is a weekly podcast twice every week. We are going to have a lot of guidance when it comes to careers. And that's about it, guys. See you next time. Till then, bye. Say bye to sir. It was great help to you, I'm sure.
Bye all students, and thank you so much, Ashish, for this interaction.
All right, great. You're most welcome. Pleasure was all mine. See you next time, guys.
Yeah, same here. Okay, bye all.
How was the experience?
Nice. How did you enjoy the talk? How was the conversation?
Great, sir. Very good conversation. You're a great speaker as well, I think.
I've taken several. I've taken several motivations all across the nation. Seminars and all.